Hey guys, Gene Daigle here. Just got to go to the doctor here today for a quick checkup after my surgery. Thought I'd share some of my views of the Mavic Air 2 after having it. I've flown it like 21 flights. Probably would have been more if I hadn't been laid up with surgeries and weather and everything, of course. I want to share the pros and cons I have. I wrote them down so I wouldn't forget. Let me get out here on the highway first, get out of town so I can be a little more articulate. First things first, the pros. Well, this Mavic Air 2 is extremely quiet. I've never heard a Mavic 2 Pro or Zoom in real life. I'm just going by what other reviewers have said and said that the Air 2 is quieter than the Pro. I don't know if that's true, but I'll take their word for it. I know it's very quiet, just from having the Mavic Air and the Spark, Mavic Mini, and I did have a paired Anafi also, so I wouldn't say it's quieter than the Anafi, but it's real close. Other thing is flight time. I'll be honest with you, when I go to shoot somewhere, I usually have a pretty good plan in place before I get there of what I want to shoot, the angles, the approaches, the backwards flying, any type of moves. I already have that plan, so this thing has more battery time than I need. The stability in flight, super stable. Never had any wandering issues, no turning when it shouldn't issues like I did with the Mavic Air, which just meant it needed a calibration, but this thing here, I haven't had to calibrate the compass since the first time, and it flies perfect. Other thing, signal strength. As long as you don't have any obstacles, like any other drone, any obstacles, and you're going to be in trouble, or a lot of Wi-Fi interference. I don't fly in urban areas, so I'm safe anyway. I'm pretty rural. The camera, I think it's fantastic. I don't shoot in 4K 60 just because it's such a memory hog. I don't have enough room on my computer to even deal with that much. I mean, those files are huge. It's a gigabyte per minute or less. And that's just, if you fly for 25 minutes, you're looking at 25 gigabytes or more. Well, I don't have that kind of room to just keep piling that in there. I also like that you can pan the camera side to side if you hold your finger on the screen and just slide it. That's pretty cool to me. Point of interest, I'm glad they added that to this, the MA2. Pretty awesome. Gets you some nice circles. You can also now focus on an object, and then free flight, it'll keep that in its view. The controller design, I love the controller design. It takes literal seconds to set that thing up and throw your phone in it. I mean, it's 20 seconds and you're done. I love the way it fits together, and I have a case on my phone and it still does just fine. It's a minimal case, but it's a case nonetheless, and it still fits perfect. I don't like those big OtterBox cases. The auxiliary light on the bottom. I did fly a couple times just over my own backyard, and I had it up to a couple hundred feet. You turn that aux light on, and you can see that thing like a star in the sky. I mean, well, it's way brighter than that. I don't know how far away you can see it at night, but it's a long ways from underneath. And I do have a Lume Cube strobe if I need to put one on top for any night flying I might do. I'm glad they you know, these are all pros. It was a pro that they sent filters with the camera or with the drone. Now, it's also a con. I know they did it on purpose. They gave you a 16, a 64, and that 256. Come on. The 256 pretty much just for photos. You could, I suppose, film in that, but you're going to get a ton of motion blur. I would have much preferred a 4, 8, and 16, but I think they did it on purpose so they could sell you the other set. 4, 8, and 16 would be perfect. 8, 16, 32, that would have been perfectly fine as well. But I'll pick some up pretty soon, probably Freewell or Polar Pro, depending on which one I can get for a better price. The case is a con. The case is just too tight. I don't want to try to keep packing it in there like that. Something's going to catch or snag, and I'm going to bust a prop, or, you know, it's too tight for my liking. So I use my old Canon camera bag, which is awesome. The DJI Fly app. Not a huge fan, guys. This latest update, they actually did add some functionality, which was fine for some tracking and for the spotlight feature. But those icons up there, they made them smaller. They're a little bit easier to see, but not the battery meter. The biggest thing I need to see is the battery meter. That's what I want to see. And unless I pan down and look at the ground or something to contrast that white, it's just a brain fart as far as I'm concerned with DJI on that one. Other than that, the Fly app didn't bother me with the Mini because the Mini wasn't this kind of drone. It was more of a toy. Not professional, but pretty darn good quality. I don't like to call it a toy. It's not. That thing flies like butter. It's fantastic, but it's just not in the realm of an Air 2. Obstacle avoidance, I almost always fly with it off. So when people say, oh, it doesn't have side sensors, I don't care. I don't care that it doesn't have side sensors. Maybe you do because you do some tracking, parallel tracking, and you don't want it to hit a tree while it's flying sideways. That's up to you. I don't personally use them, and sometimes they've even gotten me in trouble because it will. Now this drone is much less erratic, but the old Mavic Air, it'd raise up and you didn't want it to, or it'd go side to, back up when you didn't want it to. Sometimes those sensors just get you in trouble. Just be smart when you fly, and you don't really need all those sensors. And when you shut off the obstacle avoidance, it does not shut off the bottom sensors. You still have those sensors. Problem is with the Fly app, you shut off the obstacle avoidance and it still beeps. It still friggin' beeps. It drives me insane. So if I don't remember to turn my phone down before I take off, I'm screwed because it's pinched in that, it's in the controller. You can do it, but it's just, I don't understand why you'd want it to beep when you don't have it on. It drives me crazy. The SD card slot, not a big deal. It's not a huge con, but you have to unfold the arms when you get back home to take out the SD card, because I don't like taking it out when I'm out flying somewhere, because if I drop that thing, you're never going to find it. And mine are green and white because they're Samsungs, and they blend in with the grass even more than a SanDisk. So that's, it's a minor thing, but and also you cannot remove the battery when the arms are folded. All you have to do is unfold the two front arms, and then you can take the battery out and put another one in. Not really a big deal. I'm just pointing it out because I had to find something to complain about with this drone, because there's not a whole lot to complain about. So far, I mean, I didn't add it up, but my one flight was 9.75 miles at one time. So I'd have to add my 21 flights up, but I've got to be close to 40 miles total, maybe 50. Thing just flies so fantastic, and wind, not even a worry. So those are my pros and cons, guys. Feel free to comment down below and tell me if you have some pros and cons that I didn't list, or ones you agree or disagree with. I'm happy to field any questions. Well, if you enjoyed it or found it useful at all, please like and hit the subscribe button and slap the bell, make a dinger, and get all your notifications for the future. All right, appreciate y'all, and we'll see you on the next one.